Okay, now I want to show you my flower beds. These we tilled up. I had some perennials in there. We dug them up, and then we tilled these two flower beds up. This one and that one. So in March, those were dirt, and I had a bunch of the perennials out in the greenhouse. I grew all of these, with the exception of some of the perennials that you see, inside. There's a lot of annuals, and they were grown, sown indoors, starting in about February. That's called an autumn sage. I've got a little foxglove tucked in there, and this is called spiderwort. It closes up at night. And then got some daylilies that belong to my grandmother. These are snapdragons that were given to me as a gift from Diane's Seeds when I bought something else, and I always love to get a gift from her. It's always so exciting. I've never grown snapdragons before, so this will be neat to see. And these are cone flowers that are about to bloom. Probably purple, but maybe also red. I had a collection of them. Got some pathetic looking rock soapwort and foxglove in that. But, you know, patience is a virtue. It could come back. And in here, this thing is called Cleome. I can't reach it. That thing right there. And it will get a really neat bloom on it. And this is called tall verbena. You can see it's about to start blooming. It's going to be a purple bloom. And then back behind it, there's some cosmos right there. And those are tall orange cosmos, one of my favorites. And then in here I have some zinnias. And I bought a bunch of zinnias from Parks, and there were a bunch of like special zinnias. So I'm eager to see them. And then back behind all of that, I have some Mexican sunflower. And let's see what else. I've got some canna lilies, not to be confused with the ginger lilies. Ginger lilies will get a pretty white bloom on them in about August, and it smells wonderful, and that's why it's sitting there by my trash can. Canna lilies get a yellow bloom, and for the longest time their roots look a lot alike. So for the longest time I didn't realize I had both. I finally figured that out one day. So here's another view of this, and thank you, Diane's Seeds. I have a new bloom on the snapdragon. Okay, let me show you what I've got going on over here. So I thought I had killed my butterfly weed, but here it is. It's popped back up. Even after our tilling, it came back up. And then that's sedum. Ooh, that's a bug. And this is cherry brandy rudbeckia. Ooh, there's a wasp on my phone. Go away, Pop. So here's what cherry brandy looks like. She like starts off orange, and then she comes into this full red. Isn't it pretty? Looks like we got some pollinators coming. So, and then this is liatris, this tall spiky thing. It gets purple spiky flowers on it. And then these are all red hot pokers. Yes, we see you, silly. And I've got some dill in this whiskey barrel, and some more cleome in there. And here's some more snapdragon I put in this whiskey barrel. And then over here, this is called sea holly. And I had her in a pot, and she had outgrown it, and so I had to very carefully lift her out and split her without damaging her taproot, which really was a long taproot. It had grown out the bottom of the pot and into the ground, so that was some work. But this gets steel blue. This is like a steel blue flower, and I'm really eager to see it again. Every time it comes, I get excited. Those are really hard to get to germinate, so I feel like every one is a reward that I get. And so I've got more zinnias over here, and more tall verbena, more cleome. These are a different kind of zinnia. They're like a pink, which I thought would look nice with the purple tall verbena and the pink foxglove. And I was hoping to be able to grow something called sweet pea, which is what you see there on the little trellis thing. and they're looking pretty sad. So I don't know. But apparently sweet peas get this pretty flower and they have a wonderful scent. And sweet pea has always been my youngest daughter's nickname, so I thought that would be fun to grow them. But they may just be a UK thing and might not be able to grow them here in 70 in Georgia. And this is a clematis that I rescued from the garden before we tilled, and it's grown all the way up this thing since I planted it. It is much happier than it was before, no doubt. In my pots I have African daisy, which doesn't look very happy. I don't know. And then this is some petunia. And these wonderful things are tiger lilies, giant tiger lilies that belong to my grandmother. They'll get orange and black, and they're really pretty. And looks like they're pretty close to blooming now. And over here I've got some bee balm. Bee balm is purple and magenta. And then down here I've managed to get a couple of these to germinate. This is called a rose milkweed, and it attracts the monarch butterfly. The monarch butterfly will lay their eggs on it, and then their caterpillars will eat it, and because it's toxic, it will make the butterfly toxic. And so that's her way of like fighting off predators. And they'll come back every year to lay their eggs. Over here, I have some more tall verbena and some cupcake cosmos that I'm eager to see and collect seeds from. I've got some more foxglove, some more cleome. And then over here, this is, what is this? Let me think about it for a second. This is anise hyssop. And if you rub it and then smell your hand, it smells like licorice. And it'll get you can see it starting already. It'll get a blue bloom on it. A little spiky bloom. And over here I have some Mexican sunflower. They're getting really big. Some tall verbena. Some more zinnias. These are purple and white zinnias. What else is in there? And then down here I have some bachelor's buttons. Some of them are blue, some of them are pink, some of them are magenta, some of them are dark purple. Oh look, I have a little light colored pink too, almost white. That's pretty. And then back behind them, I have something called borage that I talked about in my last video, because I have this in the vegetable garden and I make tea out of it, and it gets those pretty little blue blooms on it. And over here I have some more Monarda citriodora, not only because it fights pests, but also because it's really pretty and it'll attract bumblebees. That's why I've got it kind of over here away from the porch. So here in the middle of this bed I have some cleome. It's about to bloom. Can you see that? I can't see my phone. There it is. And then I have some likeness in here that has already bloomed and it's probably done. I've cut it back so we'll see. And then in here I have some more orange cosmos and some more zinnias. These are Queen Lime Red, I think they're called. And then I have a whole bunch of ageratum. This is called floss flower. One more thing to tell you about is the big variegated thing there in the back. That is called a giant reed. I got a piece of it out of the ground off the side of the road where they were about to do construction, and that will grow all the way up to as high as my house. So I know some of you know what this is about to turn into, and some of you just see a lot of green, but you'll see. I'll be back and I'll show you.